need your help, your brains, your experience. I have a question for you. Hi, I'm Amanda from Rockpile Homestead. My husband Corey and I are building an off-grid homestead from scratch on 100 acres in country Western Australia. And we're inviting you to come along for the journey. So I'm actually sitting in here with the little baby chicks. They're not so much babies anymore. They're like 12 weeks old, maybe 10 to 12 weeks old. I'm in here because I've been looking at them kind of every day, just seeing the differences in how they're developing. And this morning, while we were still in bed, Corey and I heard a rooster crow. It wasn't a very loud one, but it was distinctly a rooster crow. So as these guys have been developing, I've been trying to find the differences between them, because even though we did our best with Honey-bee to determine which was which, it wasn't 100%. They were very young. They were only a few weeks old, like 4 weeks old. I've been coming out for a bit trying to see the differences between them as they're developing, to see if I could tell whether or not any were roosters. And there's some that are developing differently. They're much taller. Hi, like you. Their back feathers are developing differently. So if, for example, that lady coming up here, the grey lady, if you look at her tail feathers, they kind of gently go over her rear end, and they're almost like a little waterfall that comes off the back. And then that grey one there is similar. And then you get the tail feathers on that chick are quite perky. And that one's much taller. Another one, that very upright tail. So this breed is an Australorp, which is an Australian dual-purpose bird, great for eggs. I think most people keep them for eggs. They're not used widely for meat production. But as a homestead, with the idea for sustainability and self-sufficiency, we don't want to get kind of the one-time deal meat chickens, right? And they're not as easily available in Australia as I see some of you guys in the US, homesteaders, can order your Cornish crosses and get them shipped to you. That's not something that's done here. So the question is, who's the roo? So I've seen differences in their overall height, in the tail feathers, and in their cone development, all of which I'm guessing are signs which is 12 weeks, or is 10 to 12 weeks about the time that I'm going to be seeing the significant difference between those three aspects. Okay, I'll leave them alone for now. We've got a shade cloth on top of here just to help protect from aerial predators, because the crows like hanging around and hanging out with them. Alright, so I'm just down at the chicken coop. A little bit windy, hopefully it's not too much of a problem. Now, I just want to talk to you guys for a second about something. I have a dear friend, Mel, from Honey-bee Farmstead, and this week, very recently, she did a video on how to propagate plants, which obviously as homesteaders, it helps us to learn how to grow plants, but I think one of the most important messages in that video is not just growing plants, but growing community. She talked about how to find your food, and she wants to start a movement around finding your food, not just in the sense of foraging it and growing it yourself, but by reaching out and making connections and having conversations, and by building community, and by sharing and being generous and growing abundance in your own life, and inviting others to share in that abundance. Alone, we can't grow all the things. We can grow a wide variety of things, but it's not all going to work out. We don't all have access to all the same plants and resources. Food security and abundance and food diversity was meant to be a community effort. And that's what really struck me about Mel's video, is her dedication to those principles. And I'm going to link the video before, and I really encourage you to go have a look. Mel's got a real passion for building community, and especially building a community through farming and homesteading and growing food and sharing food, and sharing this lifestyle we have. Mel is quite central to helping build the community of homesteaders here in Western Australia. And if you are a homesteader or someone growing an edible garden or anything like that in WA, I encourage you to follow Honey-bee Farmstead. Reach out to Mel. She's an incredibly caring and generous person, and we would love to have you as part of our community. And even over east, yes, we're not physically close to each other, and we can't do seed exchanges. We can't even post seeds to each other, really, because WA has pretty strict quarantine and biosecurity rules, laws, I guess. So Mel has started this hashtag called Find Your Food. Definitely go over there and check out more about the ideas underpinning that. She can explain it so much better than me. With the idea of community and sharing your food, this YouTube channel has opened up lots of opportunities for community. I had a visitor to Rockpile earlier in the week. I don't know if she wants me to shout out her name, so I'll just not, but you know who you are. And this is someone who runs a community garden in their own community where they're located, and we connected, we became friends, and when she came to Rockpile to visit, she brought me a bunch of seeds from her stash. Like, she's got a massive stash of seeds, and she's big on seed sharing and obviously running a community garden. And I'm so excited that I'm able to have a real life example of what Mel is saying around building a community and sharing abundance and finding your food. So my friend, they brought me a loofah, one of the plants on my wish list to plant. She also brought me some seeds of it. Pretty sure one of Corey and I's next projects is to build a trellis frame for the loofah plants. So she gave me a sample of her loofah, some coriander seeds. Now, I'm one of those people that has that thing that coriander doesn't taste that good to me, though I love the coriander seeds as a spice. So I fully intend to grow them in my cottage garden, so I can harvest the seeds. What was that? So I can harvest the seeds and use it as a spice. And of course, they have all these other benefits for your garden, having coriander in there. And I'm sure this is another thing, just because I don't like eating coriander doesn't mean I don't know people who do, and then that is an abundance I can share. Sunflower seeds, which I think is always such a beautiful gift, and I can't wait to plant those. Spaghetti squash. Now, they're not super common seeds to get here in Australia. The first time I ever discovered what a spaghetti squash was watching a homesteader on YouTube. I'm just like, what is that thing? And I can't wait to plant these. Red snake beans. Again, these are all things that are just not in the standard seed packet aisle, right? African horned cucumber. Now this one's a really interesting one. My friend was telling me that when you pick it small, and I'll see if I can remember this correctly, it's almost like a, I can't actually remember. I just have to message her and then I'll be back. Hang on. While I'm waiting for that, sorry, I'll get back to the African horn cucumber. Got Queensland arrowroot. It's an edible canna lily. Interested to try that for sure. I think it might have like an edible rhizome type thing. And the other really cool thing was moringa tree seeds. Now, moringa tree is sometimes called like the tree of life, the miracle tree. It's like this superfood tree that so many parts of it you can eat, and they're highly nutritious. I'd never heard of it. When I asked Mel, of course, she had heard of it. But okay, just got a message. Hang on, let me read this. Actually, I'll finish the moringa tree first. It says lots of different parts you can actually eat off the moringa tree. You can like eat the leaves, among like other things. Highly nutritious, high in iron, calcium, potassium, vitamin C. Like, it's that kind of superfood thing where it just kind of seems like it does everything. The seeds are very protein rich as well, so it's a bit of an all-rounder tree, and I'm really looking forward to growing this. Corey is a massive fan of green smoothies in the morning for breakfast, so I'm looking forward to growing this as an addition to his smoothie. Alright, okay, so African horned cucumber. Let's see what my friend said. So when it's young and green, it tastes like cucumber crossed with a lime. And when it matures a bit and turns yellow, it tastes like cucumber crossed with a lime and banana. Sounds interesting. And I can't wait to try it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to try these seeds, and even better that it came from kind of getting to know each other through like YouTube and the videos and that sort of stuff, which is kind of cool. Plus, I was able to pass off some garlic and garlic stalks to my friend's daughter so she could try braiding, because she was super interested in my braiding garlic video. And again, I get to share that abundance and share a skill and a bit of education and a bit of, you know, joy and excitement in learning a new thing. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And to those of you that are watching and maybe haven't commented, please do reach out. Let's be friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll just share our knowledge and our enthusiasm for a common interest. Okay, so that was a bit deep. Right, I also wanted to show you something else. What I wanted to show you was this here. Yes, there's a table. But I've got a little bit of a video of us starting to make over this table because what I'd really love to do with this table is invite you into my kitchen and share time with me as I cook and bake and preserve and show you some of the more inside stuff of the homesteading life. Our house is a work in progress. We've been building it from scratch since we got here. We're cash flowing it, which means we're just doing a bit at a time as it goes. The inside of my house is not perfect, but it's my off-grid kitchen. Getting this central table in here is one of the things on my wish list for getting a more fully functional kitchen. But I don't want to wait until everything's perfect to invite you in there with me. And I hope it's something you'd be interested in. So, is that something you'd be interested in? You have to tell me. I hope so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave you with some footage of Corey and I starting to reno this table. Reno, makeover, I don't know what's the right word. And we don't get it finished. You can see it's not finished. But when it is and we pop it into the house, into my kitchen, I'll invite you along there, and I'm excited to someday soon welcome you to my off-grid kitchen. Hey guys, Amanda from Rockpile Homestead here, in the shed today doing a project for a new kitchen table. Also got Mr. Rockpile. Oh yeah? Oh, no.
Hi, how you going? I'm in the shed too, but I'm in the background today. I'm just going to tidy up a bit of stuff and I'll leave you with number one in charge here. See you guys.
So I'm just going to show you the stuff I've got that I'm going to use to do a bit of a makeover on this table. This table here is going to be our new kitchen table slash island bench slash kitchen workbench. We've already put casters on the bottom to lift it up higher so it's more suitable as a work height bench. I'll show you the gear I picked up to do this farmhouse table makeover. Alrighty, so I've got a bunch of stuff here. If I'm resurfacing this, sanding it down, I'm going to start with various grit sanding discs for the machine we've got. And when you're sanding something down, you're starting with a like a smaller number grit sanding disc or sanding pad. That is, I'll open it up and show you. You can see there that it's very bumpy. So that's a coarse grit, which is a lower number. So this is a 40 grit, right? And on the back, you'll have the grit of each one. So even if you lose the packaging of your sanding disc, sanding pads, they'll usually always have it on the back. All the ones I've seen have it on the back. So 40 grit, 80 grit, and then from there we go to 120 grit. Then from 120 we go to a fine grit, which is the 240. And then just for a finer touch, if I need to, I actually got a soft sanding sponge. That's 320 grit. Once I'm all sanded up, it gets 2 to 3 coats of this Cabot's brand Benchtop Clear. It's for living area and kitchen timber bench tops. It's a water-based clear coat, so it is a varnish, but it's food safe, as you can see there. Heat resistant, resists stains, enhances timber grain, low odour and non-yellowing. You can put it on with a roller, but I just decided to do the brush instead. So it's a nice soft finish. It's supposed to be able to do kind of streak free. I find sometimes with the rollers you can get like a stippling finish even with like the really fine foam rollers. And when I've done like say gloss paint in the past inside, the brush I feel like gives me a better finish. So yes, it's like a little bit more work, but that's what I've chosen to do. So I really should have some safety glasses, but I can't find my safety glasses and I can't find proper masks. I'm just going to use one of my COVID masks. Might as well get some use out of them. Ooh!
Try that. That's right. Is the tint okay, or do you want me to find you some clear?
No, that's fine. Styling.
I did. Slick, man, slick.
Fogging up my glasses. What's more important? My lungs or my eyes?
Oh, well, you can just say, look, I'm an adult, I made an executive decision.
You'll see the orbital sander has holes in it, and that's to help like vent the dust, and that's why these have holes in them as well. Flies are friendly today, so I'll put that on there, or might even try to line up little holes. Not too bad, like that. Yeah, so this is the coarsest grit. I don't know if this is what we need to start with, but that's what we're going to give it a go with. Squish.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
What's the next grit up?
80.
80? Well, if the 40's too rough, just go to the 80.
What a good plan. Who would have thought that? Thanks for telling me to do what I was already going to do.
Yeah.
So as I come along, you can see in the center there, those lumpy bits like that. So that's where the varnish is heating up from the action of the sander and kind of melting into little nodule type things. So I've actually started using this little scraper thing. I had to use it for that paint bit I showed you. But it's helping pick up some of the thicker areas of varnish. You can see that bit of varnish there. So I might do a light scrape over using this. Alright.
So, you want to have a competition?
Maybe.
My little kit.
What are your terms?
We blow this stuff off the table.
Yeah.
Right, I'll work down this end, you work down that end. I'll set the timer for 2 minutes on the phone and we'll compare piles at the end. My little 40mm wide razor blade, handheld, with your $35 scraper with your 4-inch wide.
Sure.
Place your bets. Ready?
Yep.
Go. You're kicking my ass.
That's up there. Hey. Tools down.
So,
don't know. Close one.
So this is Mr. RP's pile with the little razor blade. And look at that. You're on like a sheet of paper. Jeez, look at that. High five, Mrs. RP.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Even though I'm talking to a camera and I'm imagining you out there and that I'm talking to you. So it's a bit weird. But I feel like I've got company, which is nice. I guess I'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye.